government aims to generate a minimum of 8,000 megawatts of electricity annually in 4 years.
Preparations for the African Union Sports Council AUSC Region 5 competitions going according to plan despite financial constraints.
And that is Jose Hongwe joining us later on our sport desk. Patricia Chibonyan is interpreting in sign language. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, Botswana is set to launch its first satellite, BotSat 1 in California, USA, marking a major milestone in Botswana's journey into space technology. Now, let's cross over to our reporter, Usile Mkabezi, in Los Angeles in the US to give us an update. Sidi, good morning. I think it's morning on that side. Maybe take us through what has been the proceedings thus far.
Right. Thank you very much, Samoka. As you've rightfully said, we are here broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. And of course, as you might be fully aware, the President Advocate Duma Boko and his delegation have been in Los Angeles for a few days, obviously ahead of the expected launch of the BotSat 1 satellite. And of course, as you might also be very much aware of this, there have been significant changes to this initial schedule. But without taking too much time, let me at this very moment just give the Vice Chancellor of BUS, the Professor Totolo, just the opportunity to just speak to us and give us an update regarding the significant milestone and of course just what the changes have been and obviously what to expect at this very moment. Thank you very much, Prof, for your time. Just to give you a few moments to give us an update of what exactly is happening at the moment. What should Botswana know regarding what is happening with the initially expected launch of BotSat 1 satellite? Prof.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to be here in LA to give an update of where we are with respect to the launch of BotSat 1. Indeed, there has been a rescheduling, and this rescheduling is quite paramount. The launch provider is always making adjustments to the launching of different missions. But where we are, due to those adjustments that the launcher, in this case SpaceX, has made on different missions, we are led to say that we will still be on course once those adjustments have been made and they are implemented by the launch provider. We have always been ready, and the adjustments hopefully will now push us to a point where we will communicate with certainty within 24 hours of the launching as to when exactly the launch will take place. And we are very grateful. They share with us the adjustments, and like I said, the deployment of our Botswana Satellite 1 is ready. So anytime the adjustment affects us, we will be more than ready to be now, to be ready to be fired into space anytime. So that's how it is. So we need to play according to the adjustments of the launch provider, because they are the ones that are going to carry BotSat 1, and it will be very soon. But the rescheduling has been done, and we are very much aware of it.
Prof, maybe just any last words that you might have, maybe just to, we've talked about this during the course of the week, just, as to the significant benefits of having this satellite being launched by Botswana, obviously for the very first time. Let's just appreciate even, the manifold benefits of this launch itself.
The satellite has got many benefits, and we cannot wait until our satellite is in space. When you talk about agriculture, especially precision farming, we talk about environmental conservation, we talk about mining, we talk about mineral explorations. These are within what now we can do as a nation, and we shall forever be waiting and excited for our 10 to take place so that we can go into space and provide Botswana with the much needed information in the various sectors, which at this point in time, we are procuring from other entities, from other satellites. So we remain hopeful. And like I said, the providers have got their own adjustments. And once our 10 is called, the nation will be informed about this new development.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your time.
Thank you very much.
And of course, that was the Vice Chancellor of BUS giving us an update of obviously what has been happening, and of course, the initial expected scheduling, the changes to the schedule, and of course what to expect. This obviously is a massive development for Botswana. Samoka, a lot of things that we can expect for Botswana regarding this launch. And yes, we really are expectant. And of course, I do believe that this March, we will have a lot to say with regards to this launch and appreciate the manifold benefits that will happen as a result of this launch. Samoka, over to you.
And that is Usiri Nkabetsi in Los Angeles giving us an update. We apologize for that bad sound. And we continue with the news. Botswana has asserted a position of being open to doing business with prospective global investors and is looking to establish mutually beneficial and durable partnerships in an array of development sectors. This was highlighted by President Advocate Maboko during a business breakfast roundtable discussion on trade, investment and partnerships between Botswana and the city of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles business community was well represented at the roundtable and showed keen interest in the prospects of doing business in Botswana. Usiri Nkabetsi reports.
Botswana's business climate is an inviting one for prospective investors. Her stability and democratic setup, ease of doing business, mineral endowment, and tourism potential are but a few of her greatest selling points, presenting prospective investors with an array of desirable options.
For any investor, we are offering a very stable, predictable environment. An environment that assures you that you are safe, that your investments are safe. We look to you for creative solutions, for innovations, that we are open for business, but we plead that it not be business as usual, not old school, old type. It must be business as it should now unfold in this day and age, in this era of artificial intelligence, in this era of the fourth industrial revolution. And Botswana is willing, Botswana is ready, Botswana is able. It has a young and dynamic population of very educated people.
All these abundant resources that we have, we are saying come and invest so that you can then turn them into products and then take them through the AFCFTA and other trade arrangements like AGOA that we are a member of, so that you can effectively trade. The other area where we establish manufacturing opportunities is to link into global value chains. Yes.
Having established itself as a city of endless possibilities, Los Angeles has a diverse business community with various industries which power its diverse economy, such aligning well with Botswana's aspirations for durable partnerships.
We were actually oil and gas town at the beginning. You'll see oil rigs all throughout Los Angeles as well. And then transitioning into Hollywood entertainment. Then we now are investing also into not just entertainment, but also digital entertainment as well. And now sports entertainment, bioscience, international trade, aerospace and defense, all these great sectors are invested in and are thriving because of investment and the leadership of great governments. So as you're talking about the stability of your government, it gives us great confidence that we can work very closely together.
We're getting ready to host the Olympics and the Paralympics in 2028. And next year we will be hosting the World Cup in 2026. So like Stephen mentioned, we are definitely going through a tough period right now, responding to the wildfires and understanding that impact here in Los Angeles. But I think this is a resilient region, a resilient place where we will be looking to those solutions from internally and from friends outside as well to help us overcome some of those challenges and work with us so that we can help welcome the world.
Botswana's new administration is eagle's eye on prosperity for all, with a clear vision on a green and digital economy, which will be powered by various sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and the creative sector. Utsidile Ongabetsi, BTV News, Los Angeles, California.
The new government aims to generate a minimum of 8,000 megawatts annually in 4 years as part of its strategy to improve the economy and meet the demands of large-scale infrastructure projects. This was stated by the acting president, who is also the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ndaba Gaolathe, during a Kotla meeting in Masunga on Friday. Terema Kweng with more.
Currently, the country generates 600 megawatts of electricity annually and aims to increase this to a minimum of 8,000 megawatts annually by the end of 4 years. To achieve this, one of the goals is to develop state-owned enterprises such as Botswana Power Corporation, amongst others, as electricity is vital across all sectors of the economy, including manufacturing.
Se sengwe se se golwane se re tshwanetseng go se dira re le tšhaba ya Botswana ke gore re tshwanetse go tlhabolla ka mašetla dikgwebo tse goromente a di tlhakanetseng, state-owned enterprises. Re na le komponi ke e bidiwa gote Botswana Power Corporation ya metlakase go ya go nna le pharologanyo ya phetlo motlakase ba ba hetla motlakase ba go nna go se ba ba tsamaisa motlakase ba o tsamaisa go se ra re jaaka re heta motlakase wa selekano se se sa heteng 600 pele ha ngwaga tse nne di hela le hatse le be le hetla motlakase wa selekano ha re paletswe 8,000 megawatt.
Digitalization across all sectors, which also needs electricity, will also help improve the economy.
Rare go aga Botswana yo mosha goromente o tshwanetse gore a dire dilo ka majato ke gore ditirelo tsotlhe tsa goromente a somolle go dira ka majato a dirisa maranyane.
Although there is need to increase electricity production, citizens have identified some loopholes in the electricity sector.
Power Corporation bana le selekanyo sa subsidy mo motlakaseng mme se ko tlase thata a se okediwe.
Ha re lebella dibuka re bona gore Botswana Power Corporation e tsene mo dikolotong tse di tona ra gore re kolota madi a mantsi re le tšhaba ya Botswana a mangwe madi a re a kolotang ke metlakase e ntseng re e reka mo mahatsheng a mangwe
le lebelle thata gape kgang ya go nna go ntse go twe go na le di-major subject di tshwana bo science di tshwana bo sekgowa o ithele ngwana yo mongwe a ya go tshwarelelwa ke sekgowa.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. Ito dira gore ngwana go tswa ko primary nkwa go lebelle bokgoni ja gagwe bokgoni jwa bo hilweng ke modimo a ta rute ke matitšhara gape ba profile ngwana yo a ye ko pele ka sa se itseng sa se hilweng ke modimo a se ka pateletsa subject tsa sa di kgone.
Despite the concerns that residents may have, they are commended for their cooperation and humility in the district. Terema Kweng, BTV News, Masunga.
The United States of America's Air Force and Space Force officers and students currently in the country visited the University of Botswana's Department of Political Science, leading scholars to learn about the country's politics, security and other related issues. During their engagement this afternoon, UB's Faculty of Social Sciences Acting Dean, Professor Tachilisa Bulale, said the visit will hopefully open new avenues for the university as it envisions to become a center of excellence academically. Monica Sitwela with more.
A group of 15 students on regional security studies from the Air War College in the U.S. selected the Southern African region, particularly Botswana, to get a better understanding of its regional issues. During their brief engagement with UB scholars, the delegation discussed the country's politics, democracy, and the challenges faced, as well as the university's role as an academic center.
It's one thing to read about places that you haven't visited, but to go there and experience the culture, get to meet people, get to learn about the backgrounds of their military system, their political system, that's a whole different level that you can't just get in, from reading in a book. I think we've learned also is there's a lot of similarities to us, and so we can learn what those differences are and then appreciate the similarities that we have in common and then move forward, hopefully, like in this case, for these individuals so that they can take that to make strategic decisions in the future.
The visit is a welcome development to the university.
In terms of our vision, we want to be a university, a distinct center of academic excellence, not only in Botswana and Africa, but also globally. And their visit here is something that will give us global visibility. And it also opens avenues for us to collaborate, not only with this college, but also with other institutions in the US.
The team, which also taken note of Botswana's journey into space.
Students and the BDF, most of the officers that it sends are at the rank of major. Yes. Then I think the BDF will explain to you. We don't have a war college in the country, but for war college, the BDF sends their officers elsewhere. But for staff college, they send them to this program that I'm talking about, which we are running together.
The University of Botswana is now working on integrating the academic and the military component as one course within its programs. Monica Satswaila, BTV News, Gaborone.
Businesses in the Tuli Block region realizing devastating setbacks as the Martins Drift border post remains closed indefinitely following the Limpopo River flooding. Many tourist resorts and farms are counting losses with each day. Mamusi Siska is there.
The Tuli Block, known for its tourism lodges, wildlife reserves and agricultural exports, relies heavily on the Martins Drift border for cross-border trade and visitor access. With the crossing closed, fresh produce trucks destined for South African markets are stuck. Safari operators report mass cancellations and local farmers now face mounting losses.
It's adversely affected our business. As you can see, we had to evacuate our customers. We've got another lodge, a sister company at the farm. So we had to move some of the customers there and we couldn't continue taking any bookings. And also we had to evacuate most of our property because we're scared that it will get damaged. Even our staff, we've told them to go home because we cannot wait for the dangers to come to us.
The damages at the farm are extensive. Let's start with the infrastructure, particularly the workers' accommodation block, the management block, and the irrigation pivots, which have been submerged by the flood waters.
They are badly affected. Unfortunately,
this happened earlier in the year and we had to close. Now it has occurred again, and this time the water is much stronger. We are unsure how long it will take for the border to reopen. Additionally, we are uncertain if we will be able to pay our workers as there is currently no business activity.
Officials says reopening depends on water levels receding, but with more rain forecast, hope is fading. Detours through alternative routes like Tlokwem border add 6 to 8 hours to trips, a cost many businesses can't absorb. For now, Tuli Block's economy remain at the mercy of Limpopo. Mamusi Siska, BTV News, Martins Drift border.
Yeah, watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now moving on, the Minister for State President, Mr. Moeti Mohasa, has pleaded with auditing firms to volunteer to assist them to administer the process of disaster relief donation and better ways to distribute them to the beneficiaries. Mr. Mohasa was speaking during a donation of goods from 9 private companies, a charity and the University of Botswana Academic and Support Staff Union on Tuesday. Solofelo Tombale reports.
Since flood relief donations in the form of funds and goods started being provided by companies and individuals, they have been under the watchful eye of Business Botswana and the Office of the President. With government committed to provide more transparency to the process, the Minister for State President is calling on the private sector to help with auditing.
Maybe they want to look at an auditing firm. You can help Bella. For us, can dwell back again. But the whole did that so that the amoreti for 100 cents so that one confidence more the whole exercise. And now we have one dollar for this. But honor about because that's a thing you are hands with our colleague Guyana. Maybe also more like what you put on with about. See what else are the
There were many noteworthy donations received by the minister. We are calling for an audit firm to offer its services for free, to audit the donations we have received, to confirm that we have used them as intended. This will give people confidence in the whole exercise, so that in future they will feel they can donate again.
Since this flood caused huge damage to humans' life, to the properties, so
we're known mostly for advocating for higher pay for our members, but it should be noted that our members come from the society and that they have family members in the society. That's why we've come to try and help this time, when government resources are under strain.
And cash. We hope this can contribute something to the relief effort, disaster relief effort.
We contributed some service and goods for the people who suffered in this disaster, worth 2.5 million pula. Just want to bring best wishes to Republic of Botswana and to people of Botswana.
In these donations, there were food hampers, toiletries, and water from HLB Botswana, 100,000 pula of fuel from Puma Energy Botswana, 100,000 pula from Bango Trading, and more, intended to assist those who have been affected by the flash floods. Solofela Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Assistant Minister for State President, Ms. Maipelo Mophuting, says government does not take gender-based violence for granted and is sending a stern warning to perpetrators, therefore, to stop any acts of GBV. On Friday morning, the Assistant Minister Mophuting was amongst the attendees at the Francistown Magistrate Court to witness a trial case of GBV between the state and Mr. David Holland, who is accused of physically abusing his wife. Mophuting informed BTV News that on the 26th of February this year, she made a promise in Parliament that she will travel to Francistown to support Mona Lisa Munguri, an attorney who volunteered to assist the GBV victims with free legal representation. The Assistant Minister added that Ms. Munguri should be supported emotionally, as she sometimes endured hardships and threats to her life by those who do not value human life and dignity. Mophuting says her presence in the courtroom is a demonstration that volunteers like Mona Lisa will not walk the path of fighting GBV that has become a societal problem alone, but government will always be supportive of them. Meanwhile, Mr. Holland will mention again next week, Wednesday.
Ele mothusa tona ko ofising ya ga Tautona ke gone mo Francistown Magistrate Court. Ki tlamile maloba ko parlamenteng gore ki tlo go ema nokeng a young woman by the name of Mona Lisa, ngwana wa rona hela an attorney o ileng gore she has been volunteering at thusa ka dikgang tsa GBV mahala, and it has taken a toll on her. Jaanong ka re le puso Umbrella for Democratic Change re buile hela re tlhalosa gore dikgang tsa GBV, we are not going to allow them to continue go tsa phekelo e sele under our watch. Me gona anong ra itse gore dikgang tsone tsa GBV di tsere phekelo e sele. Jaanong ke le mothusa tona ko ofising ya ga Tautona, I am here on behalf of obviously the office that I sit in, and by extension the president, o ileng gore dikgang tsone tsa GBV le ene di motshwentse. So right, so my being here is a strong message to perpetrators. We are not going to allow abuse abuse must be perpetuated against bomme kana borre ka gore kgokgontsho ya bong it's not exclusive to women, it's also against men. And ke lebogela Batswana ke monokeng because ke a bona gore le mo khote ba tletse Batswana tota. This is a strong message that they are also sending gore not under our watch. These are our neighbors, these are our cousins, these are our nieces and nephews. Therefore, we are going to be here to support.
Shashe River Senior School students have been advised to normalize good performance and discipline in order to improve their pass rate. This follows the release of the 2024 BGCSE results, in which Shashe Senior scooped position 1 with a pass rate of 34.64%. The school celebrated this milestone by embarking on a walk to deliver the results to the Tonota Kgotla. Kidibonyele Kalake has more.
Shashe River School embarked on a march to celebrate their results for the 2024 BGCSE. The just released results catapulted Shashe to the first position with a pass rate of 34.64%. But prior to this, the school had not been doing well, which prompted a swift response in 2020 to improve the school's performance. Through hard work and dedication towards improving the results, Shashe River is now the best performing school in Botswana.
Shashe River School in the past was not doing very well. Yes. The worst performance of Shashe River School was in 2014 when the school obtained position 27, that's 16.59%. But thereafter, from 2020, we decided to sit down as a school with all other stakeholders, or we must try to do something better.
2 out of the 22 top achievers countrywide are from Shashe River School.
It hasn't always been easy. I remember late nights spent studying, feeling overwhelmed and wondering if I could really achieve my goals. But through it all, there were people who believed in me. As we look ahead, I want to encourage each of you to keep pushing forward. Remember, it's not just about the destination, but the journey we share. Let's continue to support each other and celebrate our achievements together.
The royal leadership started a journey of engaging the school to improve its performances in 2018. The aim was to cultivate the spirit of learning by instilling discipline among students. The staff and learners were urged to work hard to maintain the pass rate that they have worked hard to achieve. Furthermore, parents were advised to commit to their children's academics as a way of motivating them to continue doing well. Kedibonyele Kalake, BTV News, Shashe.
Councillors of the Kwenin District have welcomed with open arms the National Decentralization Draft Policy, citing that it will help improve the efficiency of services rendered to the local community. Speaking at a briefing meeting at Monepolole, addressed by the Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Ketlalefile Motshekwa, on decentralization policy, the councillors have requested for the review of their welfare. Jessica Pilani with more.
The decentralization policy intends to empower the local councils by giving them responsibilities and resources that will enable the council to implement developmental projects on time and within budget by rendering quality services to the community. According to the minister, the new administration is human rights focused, hence they need to amend and improve the laws and policies through this decentralization policy.
Decentralizing because we deem it that local government and local authorities, they have proximity to the people and therefore in a better position to offer quality public services to the people. What is important is that we should not only offer services, there must be quality services to the people. That is why going forward, our focus will be on efficiency, effectiveness and efficacy in our responsibility.
The councillors welcomed the motion on decentralization, citing its impact in empowering the council to become more influential. Your presentation has impressed me, our minister. I trust that the lives of the locals will be improved. What is required from us as councillors is to work together so that we deliver quality services to our people.
So
we have heard your advice, our minister, that when we take decisions, we should consider projects and services that are people-centered, such as provision of water and health services, as a way of promoting human rights. This policy comes with more responsibilities. As such, we request that our welfare be reviewed because when this policy is being implemented, it will mean more responsibilities.
After this tour, we will devise assessment. We may form a task team ya councillor gore go nne le committee e tla lebelela welfare ya councillor ka diemo tsona tsa boikarabelo in comparative terms le ba bangwe e be ta o dira di recommendation.
Mr. Motshegwa says at the end of his consultations with the councils, the draft will be tabled before Parliament. Jessica Pilani, BTV News, Molepolole.
The plight of Dakar residents who were badly affected by floods 2 weeks ago was heard and answered by the Standard Chartered Bank, who donated goods worth over 250,000 pula to help put their lives back to order and restore normalcy. These goods, which includes groceries, toiletries, clothing, amongst others, will be handed over to the Khansi District Disaster Relief Committee and will be also shared equally with victims in the Khansi Township. Angela Nusa with more.
The flash floods in the Khansi district left over 800 people displaced, over 300 children affected. Standard Chartered comes bearing gifts in a bid to return some form of normalcy. There is still a lot these people are experiencing because their predicament didn't end the day the floods receded. The children who were most affected still need to be assisted. We are here to lend a helping hand to those children and in helping the various homesteads, also in a way assist them to cope better until the situation normalizes. We are grateful that our plight here in Dika was heard by people from as far as Gaborone. They responded swiftly. Tshwanelo has also stepped up. We had an outpour of donations in the form of clothing items, toiletries, groceries, sanitary pads, which we brought here to Dakar. We also had monetary donations. I would estimate the donation here today to be worth just over 200,000 pula. Though damage to property has not been monetized yet, Council has a lot on its plate to help those still needing assistance. We might have funds set aside to assist should disaster occur, but sometimes the funds are not enough to address every need. Therefore, donations of this nature are highly welcome. We were not anticipating this kind of help, seeing that some areas in Gaborone were more affected than us. However, we saw them reaching out to us here in the outskirts and assisting our township as well as our tiny village of Dakar. The disaster committee will hand out these donations according to the needs of the affected households. Angela Nusa, Botswana Television, Khansi.
Now in news beyond our borders, Lesotho expressed dissatisfaction with U.S. President Donald Trump's recent speech, where he claimed that he had never heard of the African country. Lesotho authorities are shocked and embarrassed by Trump's mockery and have followed diplomatic channels to register their discontent. The Foreign Minister Lejone Mojwane described Trump's comments as insulting and said they were not taking the matter lightly. The U.S. Peace Corps has been visiting Lesotho for a long time, and Trump's right-hand man Elon Musk is currently seeking a license to provide internet services in the country. Time for our sport news. Jose Honkwe on standby.
Let me thank you, Samuka, and good evening. This is Hoswankwe bringing to you the Botswana Tonight Sports News. And with that, let's get straight into it and start with the top story. FNB Botswana has injected 6 million pula for the 2025 Botswana Golden Grand Prix. The sponsorship is an increase of 4 million pula from the 2 million pula they provided in 2023. Victoria Dakin has more.
Communications and Public Relations Manager of FNB Botswana, Boga Chilinde Masebu, said they have found it fit to continue sponsoring the race as well as increasing the money as the meet is of a high profile and attracts international athletes.
As a nation, we've seen the potential that our athletes have. I mean, our athletics as a whole has, given the, some of the successes that we've seen by our, athletes who are now international stars that are being celebrated all over the world. So, on that note, we do value and see that raw talent that we need to nurture and support so that they grow into that global stage.
The vice chairperson of the local organizing committee, Harold Musomani, said the sponsorship will go a long way in ensuring that they host an event of a high magnitude.
We are very excited. Botswana is very excited. Everybody is excited. The whole world is excited now, knowing that we are now moving up a little bit from a value of 2 million to a value of 6 million. That means certain things will be improved. The appearance fees will be improved. Probably prize monies and everything. The event will go to a certain level where it will be able to attract the best of the best, creme de la creme of world athletics.
To date, the number of athletes who will be competing in the race have not yet been confirmed.
In principle, we have them, but we cannot mention them here at the moment because there are certain protocols that have to be met. One of them being the one that has been ticked by FNB right now. The athlete licensing officer has to negotiate with those athletes and agree on certain amounts that they will be able to come here. So once those protocols are met and the athlete licensing officer informs us that this person has confirmed and this one, will definitely be the first people to knock on your doors and give you such kind of a...
As a way of promoting school sport, the FNB Botswana Golden Grand Prix, which is organized by Golden Door Sports Agency, will include preliminary race for schools. The participants will be selected during activations which kickstarts on the 22nd of this month in Francistown, where Ramotswa Athletics Club will be hosting Twin Towers Classic Meet. The FNB Botswana Golden Grand Prix is slated for the 12th of April at the National Stadium in Gaborone. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Moving on, the president of Botswana Football Association, Tarik Babitseng, has applauded football team managers and safety stakeholders for thriving in the Confederation of African Football Safety and Security Workshop. The workshop that was aimed at enhancing stadium security measures, ensuring a safe and well-managed football environment in line with careful regulations, officially came to an end yesterday in Francistown. Karabo Sibili has more.
Babitseng says he's confident that the team managers will extend the knowledge imparted into practice and also improve the standard of football and other sporting and entertainment activities.
I'm very proud that also this course participants were a diverse, knowledgeable people. We've got people from our stadium who participated. We have people from forces that participated, ex-forces that participated as well, and those that are eager and really are passionate about security. I think you've seen everything that the course entails. It is for you to go and practice, as Regionas has said, and your trainers had impacted that knowledge to you.
Meanwhile, the CAF head of safety and security, Dr. Christian Emerua, highlighted the significance of knowledge in the field of play and encouraged football administrators to take part in other course modules.
We would enlist you all in the Council of Europe course, which is an online course for safety and security. After you complete this course, you will get a certificate from the Council of Europe. And it is free because CAF has a relationship with the Council of Europe. Once you have completed that course and you send us a copy of your certificate, it shows us now that you are serious. Then we will register you for the FIFA online course. And the FIFA online course is also a free course. You don't have to pay because we also enjoy some privileges from FIFA. And once you are able to complete the FIFA online course, then you are ready to go into becoming a professional.
Some of the participants has this to say about the CAF Safe Stadium initiative.
Be able to know how you're going to manage crowds during the game, how you're going to make sure that the supporters are safe at the stadium, how you're going to make sure that all the stakeholders are covering the games. So remember, like I said, we do have an operational plan that you normally do during the games. So this operational plan, we have been practicing it, just a matter of it was not done on other games. So
ko ke tswang teng ka tsa itshireletso mo metshamekong sa boyalo hela nka rotloetsa ke be ke ruhaletsa barati le ba rotloetsi ba kgwele ya dinao gore ba kata mabaleng dithuto tsa hela ka botsone hela di re rutile gore re ba sireletsa ka tsela e ntseng ya.
CAF awarded 41 members who participated in this program with certificates. Amongst the 41, 38 were males, while 3 were females. Karabo Sibili, BTV Sport, Francistown.
Moving on, Tlokwe United came back from 1-0 down to beat Prisons 11-2-1 in the National First Division South Lake match played at SSG grounds in Gaborone yesterday. Horata Moyeng has the full story.
Prisons 11 began the game on a high note, and their efforts paid off as they pressurized Tlokwe United to commit a foul, resulting in a penalty on the 14th minute of the first half. Brian Lekwape made no mistake as he easily converted the penalty to give Prisons 11 1-0 lead at a half-time break. After the break, Sylvester's men came back rejuvenated and they leveled the matter on the 29th minute of the second half, courtesy of Oratile Sakhale's goal. Odirile Khaudi sealed the Tlokwe United's victory with the second goal on the 34th minute of the second half.
You know, it was a very tactical game, especially coming from a loss at Magosi. Today my aim is to collect the maximum 3 points so that I can go back to number 2, so that I can continue pushing police going forward. So, always a league is a marathon, so I'm going to continue working hard to try and win this league. It's unfortunately because you are going for a break, which will make an impact on my players.
I would say the game went well, even though we lost. We are disappointed to lose, but the only difference between our team and the chances are really missing. We miss so many chances. That is the only difference. We will do finishing until re convert the chance to create because all these games are good, but the problem is but we'll keep on doing this finishing drills so convert.
Tlokwe United's 5th victory leaves them tied at 22 points with joining Young Stars, while Prisons 11's second loss means they are now sitting at position 7 with 16 points. Horata Moyeng, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is how we wrap it up from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a blessed night. Now let's give you a reminder of the headlines.
Botswana sets her position of being open to doing business with Los Angeles investors. Government aims to generate a minimum of 8,000 megawatts of electricity annually in 4 years.
And in sports, the preparations for the African Union Sports Council AUSC Region 5 competitions going according to plan despite financial constraints.
Well, that is all the news we had for you this hour. Do stay with us. Weather is up next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast. I'm Pro Victoria Hosiame. Let's start off by looking at rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. We have 6 millimeters at Gazungula Road, border 5 at Chobe Junior Secondary School, 3 at Savuti Wildlife Camp, and 1.2 at Plateau Primary School. Tonight's satellite images showing mostly partly cloudy conditions across much of the country, and tomorrow we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions over northern, central, and northeast. But for the rest of the country, partly cloudy conditions are expected with isolated thunder showers. In the morning, we're expecting mostly hot temperatures countrywide, ranging between 20 to around 22. And in the afternoon, we're expecting mostly warm temperatures countrywide, ranging between 30 over Shakawe, Gaborone, and Francistown to around 32 over much of southern Kalahari. On Sunday, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions over Khanti district, but for the remaining districts, we're expecting mostly partly cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers. Temperature-wise, we're expecting warm temperatures countrywide between 28 over Shakawe, Jwaneng, and Francistown to around 32 degrees over Tsabo, Middle Peaks, and Box Peaks. That's all I have for you tonight. Have yourself a good night.
o tsotla ke go lebogele go bo itisele rona mo Botswana tonight phithego ya go dira ditogamano tsa ka fa lefatsheng le tla simololang go